Now you're gonna hold still while they take your bead out, right? It's like an Easter egg hunt, but it hurts a whole lot more. All right, y'all each try one and see what you think.
Cool. Good morning. So what do I do today?
What are you wearing, Luke?
A pants.
Okay. So is hot tea the thing to drink now?
Mm-hmm. It's not nearly as good as the
Can
You want some hot tea also?
Yes.
I'll heat you up some in just a minute. So our Memorial Day really hasn't been much of anything. We really have just been hanging around the house and just resting together. It has been pouring rain off and on outside. Not real conducive to going out and doing anything. In fact, we've got some tacos made. We're getting ready to watch another Marvel movie. We're almost done. Had to go to Redbox to pick up a few because it was cheaper. Luke managed to burn his hand on the stove again. Not real bad, but he decided to just touch the eye. He hasn't learned. He seems like he's okay. It's not really whelped up. My goodness. Yeah, been a really quiet Monday, and I don't think we're going to do much else today. Except for maybe strap him down somewhere. Good morning. Luke's getting something taken out of his ear.
It does. Oh no, are we breaking the rules?
Yeah. Oh
So after a very quiet and relaxing Memorial Day, now it's back to the real world. A world where this little guy has things crammed in his ear for no good reason.
no. Oh yeah. You know what is a park?
What's a park?
We walk in, then there's play stuff we can go inside.
I bet. Now you're gonna hold still while they take your bead out, right?
Mhm.
Good.
It will hurt.
I don't think it will.
I think it will.
So what do you think of this place right now?
It's cool in here.
What's so cool about it?
This thing.
That thing right there?
Yeah.
The
it's
plastic?
Yeah, I like plastic.
Now I'm not sure how much of the actual procedure, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to actually film. But yeah, I'm hoping that once he comes in here, which I'm hoping will be very much longer, that this won't take him long at all. Now see, I feel like if I had had one of those things,
So hot.
I could have done it myself. Yep, about 10 seconds later, there it is.
Thank you.
What one is it? Is it this one?
Boundless energy.
Which one is it? Oh, it's that one. I'm wrong.
Why is he so hyper?
I don't know.
And the other piece that we didn't mention is that we're actually in my van because the black van won't crank again. Apparently Luke was so loud it destroyed the battery. My guess is that when the battery got ran down all the way, there was a cell that was going bad in it anyway, so I guess we'll need a new battery in the other car. Of course, now that we're home and I'm really looking at this thing, I can't figure out what it actually is, because if it was a bead for a necklace, there'd be a hole or something, and I don't see one. I don't know where this came from or what it is. I guess really for the cost of recovery and the size of the thing, that makes it the most expensive item in the entire house, at least by volume. I'm thinking a little shadow box and, framing it, putting it right there so we can all stare at it and remember this good time that we had.
Well, I mean, it's a precious metal at this point. We need to keep it, and because $60 for a little plastic bead is something.
Yeah.
Only Luke.
Of course, there was the time when Olivia was really young and she crammed an entire blanket up her nose, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, later on in the day now, out in our flower beds out in front of the house, we've actually had a problem with blackberry vines for a long time. We tried to get them all out, and they grew back, and at some point we eventually just kind of gave up. But now there's blackberries out there. Not a lot. They're wild. They don't taste great, but they taste like something. So the kids have some cups. We're going to see if we can get enough to actually be worth eating. You're not excited, are you, Olivia?
I am.
And you're wearing a onesie.
I'm cold.
I mean, you're about to be hot.
Yay.
I think the birds have eaten a lot of them because there was actually a lot right in there. But there's a good more growing right in front of the house, and I'm hoping we can find some in there. It's like an Easter egg hunt, but it hurts a whole lot more.
There's thorns.
Yeah, I know there are. I know there are thorns. Just very careful. There's actually 4 or 5 right there, so you can get a
this
few.
group is mine, Olivia.
This is mine.
Just watch where you're stepping. Ooh, and watch out for the wasps, too. Those are definitely not very friendly plants. There's a couple of good ones down in there, though, if you know where you're looking. Gosh, Olivia's got quite a few in there. I think Lauren needs to catch up. Well, they're very juicy, at least, and I've got a few spines stuck in me here, so I'm just gonna brush that off. They're not huge. I found a bunch of them back here in the corner of the house. If they weren't such a weed and just spread everywhere, I'd think about, maybe cultivating them somewhere, but these things just spread out of control, and you just can't kill them off, and the juice is really hard to rinse off. So every now and then we'll come out here and just pick a few from the edge of the house, but yeah, they're kind of aggravating. Wow, Olivia, that's a lot of blackberries.
I'm sharing them with Lauren.
Yeah, I think we're gonna mix all these together and probably coat them in sugar or something.
Look, flower. It's gonna bloom soon.
And just in case our berries don't turn out, Lisa's making cookie bars.
I'm not.
What are you making?
They are.
Oh, okay, even better.
I'll let you do that.
Getting it all folded in, Lauren?
Chocolate chips,
Starring Lauren and Olivia, and the occasional helper, but really only makes things harder, Luke.
The chocolate chips are making chocolate chip cookies. We're making chocolate chip cookies. We're mixing the eggs and butter in.
Is this your fancy way of saying, hey, can I have a turn mixing you? I think it'd be easier if we took a mixer and just
It's not mixing in. I think we should add more butter.
No, it's just what the recipe calls for.
All right, good job transferring that into the pan.
Time for the last little bits.
And then, Lauren, you're gonna smash it down and get it good and flat?
Would it be easier to use your hands for that?
Maybe.
But
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good way to flatten it out without having to use something else. You do have to make sure that you fill the entire pan, though, with it.
That'll just be a little thin.
Meanwhile, some awesome dinners coming together. That's a nice pan of cookie bars. All right, and totally unrelated to anything we've been doing, I'm an idiot sometimes. I've been trying to figure out for the longest time why they would give me a bit like this to open up those Nintendo games I've been fixing that's so hard to turn by hand.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, let's just pretend that I figured that out from the start. Yeah, that's a lot easier. And absolute perfect timing, the cookies have come out just in time for this to go in. Of course, I need to probably bump the temperature up a little bit, but that's okay. So yeah, that was really good. We had some of our dessert also, the cookie bars the kids made. You did a great job. They came out awesome.
thank you.
Lauren, thank you for helping with the cookie bars.
You're welcome.
We only ate a little bit. But now before the kids go to bed, we want to try our sugared blackberries. I might have gone a little overboard in the sugar, but I think they probably need it. All right, y'all each try one and see what you think.
Cold.
Yep. What you think? Turned out okay? You got cookie all over. What you think? Good. Yeah, the kids are just devouring them. They did turn out pretty good. Maybe a little bit too much sugar, but they needed it. That was really juicy. It was a lot better than just straight off the vine. Gosh, y'all gonna eat them like immediately, aren't you?
They're good.
So we left a few blackberries in the container that we'll have tomorrow night. It'd be really easy to eat them all like right now because they actually were pretty good with the sugar on them. And I'm not sure if we're gonna get more out there on those vines or not. Like I said, the birds go and they eat a good number of them since they're basically just growing right there in the yard. But anytime we see a handful to grab, that's a fun treat to put together. Well, today's shout out of the day goes to Candy V. She says, the inside roof of your car looks good since you repaired it. Hope Luke is doing okay with the bead in his ear. Good luck getting it out. Thanks, Candy. Yeah, I was really glad that it went just as easily as I expected that it would. It was right there. It was so deep, but at the same time, it just felt like I could just reach in there and grab it with something, but I didn't have anything to do it with, and if I had done something wrong, it's his ear, so you don't really want to mess with it. As for the roof, thank you very much. We're glad to have gotten that fixed. It just feels like everything else in the car is falling apart now. The passenger side power door doesn't open up, the battery's going bad now, the lift gate in the back doesn't work, and the driver's side window still won't roll down even after repairing the switch. Feels like you fix one thing and 3 other things break. We'll probably get around to repairing those things eventually, but gosh, any kind of car repair, the bill just seems to add up so quick. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Thanks for joining us today. Good night. And the other piece that we didn't mention, gosh, that's bright.